You do not want to keep up with the Joneses. In fact, you want to blow them out of the water. And that's what this video is going to tell you about. The 3 most expensive neighborhoods in Fort Collins, Colorado. What's up, everybody? This is Patrick Soukup with Soukup Real Estate here in Fort Collins. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you want to learn everything there is to know about living, working, eating, playing here in Northern Colorado and Fort Collins. And if at the end of the video you enjoy the content, give it a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And as much as I like making these YouTube videos, we like more working with buyers, sellers, and investors here with their real estate needs in Fort Collins. So give me a call, send me a text or an email, or however you want to reach out. I'd love to work with you if you're looking at relocating here to Fort Collins, Colorado, or looking to sell or buy an investment property. So without further ado, let's jump into the 3 most expensive neighborhoods in Fort Collins, Colorado. Really quick, the parameters that I used when looking at the most expensive neighborhoods were really neighborhoods. I didn't want to look at anything above 2.5 acres. I wanted to dig down into what Fort Collins' most expensive neighborhoods were. So those could go all the way up to 2.5 acres, but really it's not going to exceed that. I looked at the last 4 years worth of data because there's some of these neighborhoods that they just don't turn over very often. So I took those 4 years and I combined them to have a median average or an average median over those last 4 years and developed the top 4 or top 3 most expensive neighborhoods from there. So I hope you guys enjoy this and find this valuable. And those were the parameters that I used. The 3rd most expensive neighborhood in Fort Collins, Colorado, Cottonwood Point, Fort Collins Country Club. Fort Collins only country club. Now, this subdivision is pretty far northeast Fort Collins. It used to be out kind of in the boonies, very exclusive. Again, the only country club in Fort Collins. There's only about 40 houses in the neighborhood and only about 4 sell. But let's take a drive down the neighborhood and see some of those houses. There's a huge difference between the houses that sit on the lake and the houses that sit on the golf course. One thing in Fort Collins we don't have a lot of is lakes and ponds. So there is a huge premium for waterfront or water backing properties. So let's take the drive and I'll give you a little bit more information about Cottonwood Point, our 3rd most expensive neighborhood in Fort Collins. We were at Fort Collins' 3rd most expensive neighborhood, Cottonwood Point, the Fort Collins Country Club, with a high sales price of $1.53 million and a median sales price of $910,000. Only about 4 homes per year sell here. And one of the drawbacks here is this busy road that's here in front of me. It's gonna only get busier when this Montava development comes in. Only country club within Fort Collins city limits, very exclusive, only about 44 houses in the neighborhood. The Cottonwood Point, Fort Collins Country Club. Our 2nd most expensive neighborhood in Fort Collins, Colorado is English Ranch Estates. This is a beautiful subdivision built southeast Fort Collins. Again, pretty far on the outskirts. One of the biggest bummers about this neighborhood is the Fort Collins Loveland Airport, which will be growing more and more. So take that into consideration if you are considering buying in this neighborhood. But it is basically a flight path right over this neighborhood. So that is definitely one thing to consider. But there's 2 ponds that kind of sit right in the middle of the 2 circular subdivisions. They're beautiful homes, anywhere from $1 million to $2 million could get you a property in this pretty coveted neighborhood. So let's take a drive through, have a look at what some of the homes look like in this neighborhood. Fort Collins' second most expensive neighborhood, Eagle Ranch Estates, located about as far southeast Fort Collins as you're going to get. This development has 2 ponds that houses will circulate. It is very, very close to I-25. It is accessed off of the Windsor exit. Houses here, this is going to be your most accessible neighborhood as far as how many houses sell each year. About 11 houses sell in this neighborhood each year. Median price point over the last 4 years is $912,000 with a high sales price of $2 million. Eagle Ranch Estates, located in southeast Fort Collins, second most expensive neighborhood. And the number 1 most expensive neighborhood in Fort Collins, Homestead. Now, this is on the southeast side of Fort Collins. Used to be on the outskirts, but now with the growth of Fort Collins, it's really just on the outer edge. And so with a 2-minute drive to Cinemark or 5-minute drive to Costco, Walmart, you are now much closer to where all the happenings are. So for being an estate neighborhood where there's properties that are on a ½ acre or all the way up to 2 acres, the Homestead is the most expensive neighborhood in Fort Collins. So let's take a drive through that neighborhood, and we'll catch you back on the other side, and I'll do a rundown of the 3 most expensive neighborhoods. So there you have it, the 3 most expensive neighborhoods. Number 3, Cottonwood Point. Number 2, English Ranch Estates. And number 1, Homestead. Cottonwood Point, honestly, it's a pretty ritzy club as far as the to-dos and people that are there, not necessarily a nose in the air snobbish by any means, but it is an exclusive neighborhood. And if you're gonna live there, you're gonna know every single person in that neighborhood. So Cottonwood Point is Fort Collins Country Club. If you enjoy golfing, that'd be a great place to buy and enjoy, and you're just minutes from Old Town. Number 2, English Ranch Estates. They're much bigger houses southeast. If you're a commuter, if you're looking at driving to DIA or I-25, or need to hop onto I-25 to Denver but want to live in Fort Collins, English Ranch Estates could be a great option for you. Again, the Fort Collins Loveland Municipal Airport is going to be a potential issue with those houses moving forward as that airport does grow. And finally, Homestead, again, a very exclusive neighborhood. Very few properties sell, only about 4 per year, 2 to 4 per year. And you're going to be looking anywhere in $1 million and above. The median price point is our only neighborhood over the last 4 years that has a median sales price over $1 million. And again, not too many properties sell in that neighborhood. So the Homestead is a neighborhood that actually a family member of mine grew up in. I've been lucky enough to do some business in, but they're beautifully well-kept homes built in the 1990s. And it's getting me a more established neighborhood right smack dab in the middle of Fort Collins. So there you have it, the 3 most expensive neighborhoods in Fort Collins, Colorado. I appreciate you watching. And if you're looking at moving to Fort Collins, reach out. Let's discuss where that perfect neighborhood is or what that neighborhood is that fits you and your needs. But to do that, you gotta give me a call or text or email. All that information is down below. So don't hesitate. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. Until next time, guys, take care.